Hey everyone, Troy Peterson, Mr. Bluegill, and we are on one of the most influential, I guess, long story told bites in the Midwest, and that is on the Wolf River for the white bass run that happens every spring. It attracts people from all over the Midwest, and we're gonna show you just how we go about catching these fish, and I know we're gonna catch a bunch today, and after that, we're actually gonna show you how we clean them. So stick with us here, and we're gonna have some fun today. Well, that did not take long. Woo-wee. What happens is on the Wolf River, every year, typically early May through Mother's Day, we always say when the lilacs bloom is the best time to get out. These white bass start heading up the river to spawn. And it happens every year, and they come up by the thousands. So one rig that's really popular on the Wolf River system is actually a Wolf River rig. That's where it kind of got the name. But what we've done is we've kind of enhanced it a little bit. And what I'm using is a 3-way swivel. Then below that, I've got about a 1-foot lead and then a bell sinker. Now, this bell sinker, you can vary in weight depending on the current and if you're gonna fish shallow or if you're fishing over the deeper water. You're gonna wanna make sure that every time you snap these baits forward that you feel bottom. But after this 3-way swivel on the back end, we've got a really long lead that has 3 flies on it. And we're fishing these without live bait and just snapping them forward, and these fish think they're minnows, and they come up and they just absolutely crush them. Yeah, buddy. I don't care, next to bluegills and smallmouth, these white bass in the river fight like absolute mad. Oh yeah, there we go. On the back fly. So one of the things I like to do too is vary up the colors. Once you find a color that works, then go ahead and switch everything out. And with this long lead, as you're ripping that bait through the current, that thing's, it's getting a real big tail whip. So sometimes, if they're super aggressive, when you get a whole bunch of these fish that swim together, many times you'll catch fish on all 3 hooks when they start chasing each other. Hopefully that'll happen today, but right now we're just gonna keep casting. Ooh, there we go. Ooh. Fight, 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 fight. This is a big toad here. Come on here. Golly. There are some big ones this year. I don't know if this ever gets really old. Oh, oh. That one is on the middle fly this time. They just got me all tangled up. All right, so we found a pot of fish. And when you find a pot of fish, you get 1, 2, and 3 at a time. See, that's how it's done right there. It doesn't take long to fill live wells. When you find a pot of these white bass, you can clean house on them. And no place else in the Wolf River in Fremont, Wisconsin that you can do this. All right, we are hooked up again. Oh. One of the things I'll tell you is doing this year after year, you build up a tolerance in your forearms. You'd be like Popeye. But that being said, these fish really put a tax on your equipment, and we're using lightweight rods. This happens to be a 2B Genesis, but the reel is probably the most important thing, and they are going to take the abuse because you're constantly ripping these baits, and when these fish hit in this current, you're really grinding on these things, one after another all day long. And we just happen to have the Revo X on today. This is the X10, a little bit smaller model, again, just a little bit lighter weight, magnesium frame, aluminum spool. The drag system on these things, you got a carbon drag, so that initial startup when the fish starts to peel drag, you don't have that inertia. So it's a super smooth drag. And the nice part about this Revo X is this Revo is extremely affordable, making it one of the best reels on the market. Guide tested, guide approved, that's for sure. You know, when you've got a big basket of fish like we had today, having a very good fillet knife makes all the difference in the world. And I'm going to tell you right now, this new lithium heavy duty Rapala knife is the best fillet knife I have ever used. You know, they've got the corded, you know, the one that you plug in the wall, 110 volt heavy duty one, and that one's really good, especially for going through these white bass, going through those rib bones. It takes a lot of power, and this one here doesn't even bog down a bit. By far, one of the best knives I have ever, you know, it is the best knife I have ever used. You're definitely gonna want to take a look at one of these. But hey, we had a great day. We're gonna clean up these fish. We're gonna have a fish fry here in the next couple days and get back out and do it again soon. I'm Troy Peterson, Mr. Bluegill, Midwest Outdoors. We'll be right back.